last week we talked about harvest. I had some work to do, so I went to the form to submit an event information. I took it about the event. Antoine and Victoria updated the website. OrchardCore/harvest. There is this page. Let's see. There is this page. I registered. Beautiful. The discussion on the website. Today, what's today? Today is May 2nd. Demos. We have demos. We don't. We have topics.
There's just a couple PRs that need steering, if you can review those.
PRs for steering? Who's the steering? Antoine and myself. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we didn't do much PR last week because we were working on updating the OrchardCore website to 1.60. There were issues with deployment, and actually we had to remove all the files from the piece fixed. So that status, the changes. So all should run first. 25th, we merged adds to the with snippets of HTML source code, just adding an extra plugin to TinyMC HTML snippet button, HTML snippets. And OrchardCore, actually 25, so let's start with that. Update OpenIddict, update AWS, update jQuery. Sometimes fixed notification block page being linked from the news. Yeah, sometimes it create pages, but not add a reference to the navigation. Oh, that's a new feature. Okay. Isham, the display icon for custom settings. Okay. Yeah, probably because we already have this extension somewhere, and then add a class and a custom class, so we can target this item or an item. Okay. And mklooks material update. That's it. So let's do some PRs. Because there's much. Demo OrchardCore, yeah. Checked. Pull requests. Pull request, pull request. Update AWS, but we just updated AWS. I'm confused. We should define a rule. Like, I don't think there's a point in updating every single version of every single library. You see, there is no point. The only point is that people have to look at the PR, that the build has to run. We don't even know what it's adding. Or nothing for us. Like, oh, there was a typo in the release notes. Let's release a new version. We don't care. On the opposite, in ASP.NET Core, for instance, it's not done often enough. So we usually miss library updates. And one recommendation that we made was a little while before release, let's update dependencies just to be sure we are not far away from the latest dependencies if people use them. Or let's update a dependency if we need an update of this dependency, like there is a bug that we there's a new API we need, or there's a breaking change we need to react in time, something like that. Because between 57 and 58, there is no point. Even more like it was done a day ago. See, it was done there, and now it's done there. So otherwise, you keep doing that all the time. So that PR just seeing here where we're OrchardCore Clusters, interesting. Well, we yes, we started working on that. Something that we designed maybe 5 years ago. Yep, exactly. That's funny because I'm pretty sure I know how it works. I have a note about the design. So let's see. And we were talking about implementing a router / proxy to that, and now there is the outlet that can be customized, so it's doing that. So that will be super interesting to see how it works. The idea being that we can scale Orchard horizontally by adding more instances, and each instance shard, yeah, exactly what we said. Shard will handle a specific set of tenants. You don't have to have all the tenants on all the instances, and they will be distributed in a way that if one tenant goes down, one instance goes down, the tenant is always available somewhere else. So we can then redistribute every tenant across the. Yes, exactly like the design using the same Redis, the same logic as how Redis using sharding to organize the tenants. It's like hashing CCRC16. It's hashing the tenant name or ID to deterministically define which instance will have the tenant, such that when you reach the proxy, we know on which instances it will be available. Because it's the same deterministic way to find the hash modulo 16384. And you get an idea of the machine it is. So that I want to see it working. It would be beautiful. Mike, which one of the PRs you want us to check? There's some this one.
Look at the that one. I think there's another. I think there might be two, maybe, but this one is mine.
To know that the create any content item is enabled. Oh, I see your point. Your point is because it's always there. You can't customize it, like to say, I don't want it. I want to have my own. I see. It is that the point, because I remember when Antoine worked on that, I think I suggested we need a widget by default.
I mean, a widget by default is nice for like a startup recipe, right? Where, you know, if we don't want to execute that startup recipe, then cool, right? But, you know, every single time, so, you know, I want to have my own widgets. I don't want to have that default widget. I can't really remove it, right? Unless we have some sort of option that say, hey, do not include it, or yes, include it, you know, but
so how do you suggest to fix it? Just remove it.
Well, I mean, I think the reason why I think we should remove it is because it doesn't belong here. Now we can move it to a startup recipe, right? Because I think that's where it belongs. We can't put a sample in everything we do And
Okay.
that's what I think startup recipes, that's where they belong. At least that's what I think, right? So we have the blog recipe because it provides you
Why
you know,
why do you call it
a blog.
startup recipe?
The you know, I think it's called startup recipe. There's a flag on
Setup
the
recipe?
recipe. Setup, yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's
I
right.
not like to see a setup recipe, but because it will show up in the setup screen. That's why I was wondering what was a startup, because you mentioned the setup screen. I would suggest to have an extra recipe in the recipes folder available, you know, that you can enable when you want. So yeah.
You
But
mean
yeah, we have a feature in the admin to execute recipe.
correct?
And they don't
Yeah,
have to
so
be
you're
setup
saying
recipe.
to move this as a
As an
partial
available, yeah.
recipe.
Yeah, like a
Yeah, and so you can
sample, yeah.
execute it after.
Widget samples, and then when you execute it, it creates a widget. Oh, right, I can edit it.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know.
that's a good idea.
I don't know who use that.
But you agree with to remove it from here, right?
I agree with removing it from the startup. Yeah, that's weird, because that will block you from. It will always be there, so you will have to remove it. Someone will have to remove it manually. So that's not
Right.
right. I didn't think about it. But yeah, and have the same content as an optional recipe if people like. I don't know. At least we can point that to people saying, hey, if you don't know how to create one, just here is an example recipe, and create a widget.
Yeah, that's a good idea. At least we have the medium between the two. I'll get that changed.
Independently of or from. How we go with that? So that, oh yeah. When was the issue created? That is there in the one, or many other ones. Let me see. Menu, approve, one chat. Yeah, interesting, because the feature is multi-tenancy. So that's a technical term. Sites, it's good also. Tenants, sure, because that's more technical. Multi-tenancy is the feature. Tenants could be the menu item. Sites is more for non-technical users. At the same time, whoever wants to manage multiple sites in OrchardCore is definitely the technical user that will understand what multi-tenancy is or tenancy is. Tenancy is technical. Some people might not understand. It's like almost philosophical way of seeing multiple sites. Sites is interesting. Pretty sure lots of CMS in the system. So I don't really care. Really this. Okay, so my screen, you can change which one you want. It's steering. It's steering to do what? It's steering for feature, for the term. I mean, what is in steering?
I mean, I think if we agree to change it, what should it be? So that
Because
way
they
it can
yeah.
be moved forward, because it's just.
Mike added it's steering. So you think
Yeah.
the question is more sites, tenants or sites, or multi-tenancy? Because multi-tenancy here, if you have sites, then you have sites again to list the sites, or tenants. So that's a,
Well, it'll be sites on the top and then tenants underneath the sites. Otherwise, it'll be like something
interesting.
like tenants on the top, and then underneath there it'll be, I don't know, manage or something.
I will call it multi-tenancy, and then here, what is tenants feature profile?
That's a feature profiles. We have a feature.
Oh, I see.
that allow
I
you
would
to-
have, you could have said here profiles, feature profiles, and here tenants or sites. But the multi-tenancy feature would be there, like multi-tenancy and then feature profiles and tenants or sites.
Yeah, so if you agree with the term multi-tenancy up there,
I prefer, yeah.
yeah, that's maybe we'll just fix the conflict and merge it.
And we have sure files. And here, I don't care here.
Yeah, I would keep it tenants just because we refer to it as a tenant in Orchard code everywhere. So I wouldn't really call it sites personally.
Beautiful. Can we move also the flag from this one? I'm not sure the thing. What? Okay, it's not here. Oh, I have to wait. Okay. Group all major settings to configuration settings. Okay, this one can be a full window. Yeah, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, I think we talked about it many times, but I don't think we actually made a decision of what we want to do with it. So if we don't want to make a decision, we'll just say, let's close it up.
Oh, please vote on the first issue with up, down. Down, boom. Okay. So close. Sorry,
I mean, there's no attraction, so let's just close it, I guess.
sorry. Can't win every time.
Yeah.
That makes your wins even better. Add additional text into content. Once, okay. Add additional text info to content picker field so user can what? Additional text info to content picker field. Okay, so content picker field. Oh, I think I did picture it out. Content item picker feature and auto route. Content item picker. Okay. I'm pretty sure about what I commented on that because I think I will comment the same thing, which will be configuration / liquid template to define what you want to see here, either display name or whatever. I'm pretty sure I said aspect might have been the solution. Or I think we said at some point, yeah, but yeah, okay, well, I already commented on that, so I think we can remove them. Can be much simpler with a single setting that contains a liquid template to use for description. Yes, exactly. Okay. That's different. Not needed, correct. Yes. Oh, did change the two options here. The aspect, add a setting, so that should be super simple. And now I will check. Yeah, too many files have changed here. Can display an aspect and format, title pattern, description pattern, try to open. Delete that. There's an aspect here. Yeah. I don't think we need the middle two things. Does it look like in the UI? What does the HTML look like in the list? It's called description. So before we had div, and we said inject the display text. This is a Vue.js thing. And now we say div span then display text, same thing as before, published, and then new line and small item description. So that's not something that was. So that's we decide what we want there. I because here it's still keeping the display text. It's just adding more context to the thing. And what I suggested was let's remove that and make it configurable, a single field. Yeah, I believe a single field should be sufficient. Uh, well, it should be a minimum change then. Okay. Anything you need to check here. That's a fourth direction code. Refactor all the refactors. What is a refactor? Cleanup. Oh, oh. I know. Getting crazy. All right. This one worries me. Get provider. Oh, okay. This is the same thing. It's just changing the name. So we'll check these ones on Thursday. These are just Good. Changes. Are they fixing anything? Publish because it was a new release. Okay, this one. Yeah, I believe we have lots of PRs on Thursday.
There's one more issue if you want to look at it. It might need some feedback. The 13548. 13548.
AccessAdminPanel, but no AccessAdminDashboard. What is AdminPanel?
So that's the dashboard.
Is a feature.
It's a dashboard. Well, the dashboard is a default thing, but AccessAdminPanel is the one that gives you access to the widgets, the dashboard, the widgets dashboard.
Oh.
So if you can access the dashboard, but you don't have access to the widgets, you still should be able to access it, but you shouldn't see the widgets. Is what I'm saying here.
This is what you're saying. Trial. Do you know how to fix it? PR.
I already put a PR.
This time. Oh, model. Okay. I see. That's a new one. Okay.
Yeah, the main thing is that in the view, we just basically, create the same shape we create from admin. So you can still see the main page, but we don't give you the exception.
Okay. So we'll do asking there.
Can we discuss about the suggestion I made?
Okay, I will depend on just looking like this one. Okay. Open the link from Antoine. So the OrchardCore project templates, project article solutions, starting make it templates. I like the fact that they are here because less repository means we don't have to synchronize them. Like, imagine which, look at the changes we did for 1.16 project templates to change the templates to match Net 7. If we do that in a different repository, then what packages do we reference? Why we do that on that? We have to reference Cloudsmith, and then we need to do leadership. I'd rather have another set of templates that don't depend on the same cycle as development. Like they could be shipped more often or after, but not at the same time. I keep the ones we have today where they are, because there are some like very limited one. And then if you want like predefined apps, yeah, why not? Different people, but not the ones we have here. Could they be in samples? Because we have OrchardCore samples.
Yeah, but it will be project templates. I think it will be.
Or you want to ship them as project templates?
It will be more useful.
But not be different. Yeah, not sure. I don't know, because you have to .NET install the NuGet package and then do .NET new to have a repository that I'm not sure. Like templates can have arguments, and then you can say, okay, create me an app that does that. Maybe just cloning a repository and it's also less maintenance because less NuGet packages to deploy to sync. So going into GitHub repo to clone and all documentation pages to explain how to do things, and they can customize what they want. Okay. Lord. Blazor. Oh, I saw you were creating. Trying to create some Blazor apps with your team. Okay. Questions, comments? What was it called? Need steer. Okay. Good. See you on Thursday. Maybe.
Thank you.
Have a good 2 days until next week. Bye.
Bye bye.